Vistula Podcast. Zapraszamy na podcast uczelni Vistula.
Hi everyone, welcome to the Vistula English Studies podcast. My name is Aiperi, and today we're talking about how learning English can actually change your life, your work, your opportunities, your confidence. And with me today, Anna. She's a student of English philology who is already teaching children and preparing them for exams. Let's dive in. Hi Anna, can you introduce yourself? Who are you, what do you study, and what do you do?
Hello, my name is Anne, and I'm a refugee from Ukraine. I study children, but I'll be talking about this a bit later. I'm on my way of studying English, and here I am to talk about this.
That's amazing, studying and teaching at the same time. What made you choose English philology? Why exactly English?
You know, I remember the day when I've chosen to study English philology. So why exactly English, right? First of all, it has opened for me a door of opportunities. I believe that in the future I can work abroad, I can work remotely, with other companies, with the companies outside of the country of Poland. And second of all, I've also got a chance to get to know more people.
Wow, that's really cool. Of course, I think that's something many of us feel, that the English language it really opens doors, and I think that's actually one of the ideas behind our campaign, just to show how English studies in Vistula help students build real careers. You're already in your second year, right? What surprised you the most about studying English philology?
What surprised me the most? I guess it was the subject of history of Anglosphere, I guess.
Okay.
Yeah, I know it's a bit funny, but it was really unusual for me because I thought I would learn only new vocabulary. I would read dozens of English books. However, if it comes to study any kind of language, you have to know the culture. You have to know their values, the way they think. And in order to do that, you have to learn more about their history. And so, and I've heard one person, I don't remember exactly who, but this person said one phrase,
What the phrase?
knowing the past allows us to understand the future.
I think that's a really fact, a good words. Yes, of course. I always say that English studies here is not just theory, but it's real skills that we use every day and we need to use every day. And I think you're a perfect example because you already work also with students. That's really impressive. And about this, tell us about your teaching. Who do you teach and what exactly do you help them with?
That's right. I have been studied children from Ukraine for about 2 months, and I prepare them for examen ósmokosisty. And I'm so blessed with that kind of job because I can really help them not only to learn how to speak English, how to read English, how to how to know all of this grammatical stuff and things. But I've also got a chance to know those children and to support them on their way to learn English.
Wow, that's super impressive, I think, because you're helping them and that's really cool and you're preparing them for future. I think they will be so grateful for you. And do you feel that English philology helps you to be a better teacher?
I would say at some point, yes. However, most of the time I have to learn by myself through practice.
I think that's exactly what we want to show future students, that choosing English studies can actually become a profession and you can help people like you do, not just a hobby. And what would you say to someone who wants to study English but still unsure?
What would I say? Such an interesting question. I would say follow your dream, go with the flow. will you regret not giving yourself even a chance, to try this out?
Thank you. But what about you? If you could go back to your first day at Vistula, what advice would you give to your younger self as an English philology student?
My advice would be to get rid of fear of the thought that like I will fail. I will definitely fail. Like
Exactly.
get rid of overthinking all the time, and make new friends, and also get out, I would say, of the box, yes, so to speak. University is a good place of self-development and growing, right?
Of course. And we see that it's not really easy. So I guess you're challenged with with some challenges, with some difficulties. So what challenges did you face?
There were plenty of them. I wanted to. There was a period of time during the process, like during the studies, when I wanted to give up on studying. I was thinking about changing the faculty. Moreover, I tried to combine studying and working, and it was really hard. And also, I'd like to mention the adaptation to a new country, because moving to a new country means new surrounding, lots of new people,
Of course.
new places. You're far away from home, right? And it's not easy. It's not easy at all. And people have to talk about that. We have to
course.
talk about that because
I totally agree.
it's a severe problem. Yeah, and the lack of time, the lack of motivation, and the hard process of adaptation to a new country were so strong. However, because of my parents, I think, because of their support, I'm still here. I'm still going on my way to study English and to dive into learning English deeply and to help others with that.
That's so cool that your parents supporting you and motivates you to keep learning. But what about your studies? I think what were the biggest challenge for you during English philology studies? For example, some students struggle with academic writing or understanding linguistic theory, pronunciation, or balancing studies with work, as you said also. But what was difficult for you personally, and how did you deal with it?
So the hardest challenge for me was, I think, the subject of speaking and public presentations. My biggest fear was to speak in front of dozens of people, and my fear became reality. My fear became reality, but it really helped me to break the chains of language barrier. I'm sorry, and to finally speak up without fear, without feeling insecure while speaking.
I love that stories like yours really show what English can do. And we can see even through these challenges, these difficulties, but you keep learning. So what motivates you the most to keep learning and teaching English?
I would say the dream to ensure a good and balanced life for my parents, for my family, and maybe to create a life that I've always dreamed about.
Thank you so much for being here and sharing your experience. This podcast is part of the English Studies campaign at Vistula University, showing how real students use English to shape their future. Thank you for listening and stay tuned to the Vistula podcast. You can find a lot of interesting things here. And remember, your future begins with your voice.